Hello everyone and welcome back to What's the Glory, day 13 of the World Cup. This was the first day of the third round of the group stage, the final round of the group stage, meaning we have our final locked-in candidates of that first round already in the bracket. Today with me on the couch to discuss the 6 games of the day are new guest Christian Guevara with his mask right there. Oh, and hey, Chad, where are you? Did you change into Messi or? Oh! Messi will not be doing the show with us. Chad is back. We're wearing 3 different jerseys of 3 of 3 qualified countries: Mexico, Canada, South Africa. A lot to talk about. Superb day. First day with 6 games in a day. 3 different time slots, meaning we also had for the first time 2 games at the same time, 3 times in a row. What did you think about that?
Did you like it? I don't know if These games were not the greatest, I would say. So for today, I approve. But I think as the group stages continue,
but it
has to be done.
It's the fairest, right? Because no result can influence another, exactly. So it has to be done. But I agree with you. It's hard to follow both at the same time.
For me, I like it. I need to say I like it because these last matches from Mexico, South Africa, you can see why it's important for them to play at the same time.
Okay, let's kick it right off with Group B. Group A was actually not the group that started today, which is, of course, due to Mexico playing at home. You want to have a night match in Mexico City. So Group B kicked it off with another host country in Canada having to secure for 100% their spot in the next round. What was, however, even more important was this was a game for the first place. Canada against Switzerland. The stadium was fully red. Of course, both teams are red, but it was mostly Canada red. But Canada didn't manage to win.
Yeah, a tough loss, but I think an expected loss. Maybe not in the way the games have gone now. Like I think the chances were a little bit better for them now compared to the beginning of the tournament. But I think I was discussing with you earlier. Second place, it's hard to complain. I think in the fashion, even with a 2-1 result, maybe even a draw, we could have. I heard that I wasn't watching the first part of the game, but I heard some of the goals were a bit controversial. So ideally, it would have been good to at least get a draw, but I can't complain too much. And we'll get into what that means later on down the line in terms of the knockouts, but I'm happy with the draw.
Yeah, what I can say is that Group B was a very lucky group either way. So if you were to go through in Group B, you'd have a pretty favorable draw on paper. I think the logic of the FIFA rankings and of the actual level of the teams got respected in the end, with Switzerland beating Canada on this one, even though they had a bit of a dodgy start against Qatar. Starboy Manzambi, we already talked about him earlier in this show. He delivered again, goal and assist today, meaning 3 goals and an assist this tournament already. Transfer value of 50 million plus already. This guy has a super bright future.
That's what a World Cup does, no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Canada goal was a special one for me. Can you guess why?
Tell us.
Because the full goal was made in Belgium. Promise David with the goal and Saliba with the assist, Union Saint-Gilloise and Anderlecht. So full Canada goal made in Belgium. Then the Bosnia-Qatar game was, a football game. That's being generous, to be honest. Bosnia winning that one 3-1. I don't have much to say about it. I think Qatar are a dreadful team. I'm very happy that they didn't go through on a dodgy note or something. They just got wiped with. It's crazy that they got a point in this group. But yeah, Qatar are out. This means that the final ranking of this group is Switzerland in 1, Canada in 2, Bosnia in 3, and Qatar in 4. So Qatar are going home. The 3 other teams, we're going to discuss later what that means for the draw.
Were you expecting this?
Yes, this is exactly the order I was expecting, actually.
Yeah, pretty much. I think I'd probably, if someone had asked me, I would have put Canada first just because of the bias. But now looking at the knockouts, I know, again, we'll get to it later, but I think the favorable draw was probably finished second.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, as I said, this is the order that just respected the logic. So I'm very happy with how this group's outcome came out, basically. Moving on, we had Group C, the group of Brazil, the group of Morocco, the group of Scotland. But Haiti were also really, really impressive. We'll talk about that later, because first, the big team of the day was Brazil. I know you two might not be happy with that statement, of course, being Mexican and Canadian, but Brazil were the attractive team of the day. Game was being played here in Miami. I went out in the morning in the streets, and the streets were flooded with Scottish fans, with Brazilian fans. The vibe was really, really here. Vinícius, again, unbelievable. 2 more goals added to his tally. 1 disallowed goal as well. That brings him to 4 goals and an assist this tournament. He's starting to get into the conversation of best player of the tournament. Right?
Definitely. Vinícius Jr. one more time. When people are talking about him, of him possibly not showing the level, he once again proved he's one superstar, that he's consistent, and he's in the biggest moments for his team.
Yeah, and I think he's finally getting rid of that image that he doesn't perform for the national team.
Yes.
He is by far Brazil's standout player in the group stage. Rafinha, of course, got injured in the first game, so Vini stepped up even more, and he's the guy that really carried them through the group.
And I really think now he has a really important task, that it's being the leader of this team until the end.
Yeah.
I don't see any other player from Brazil national team that can take the lead of this team and push them to improve.
And
like,
what really stood out for me is that Brazil no one was really confident about Brazil pre-tournament, but they seem to grow. Every game they play, they seem to get better. 3-0 against Scotland is a really good result, and it could have been more. I feel like after the third, they really stepped off the gas a bit, brought on Neymar, who finally made some minutes in the tournament, brought on Endrick. So they were playing a bit with their squad. They made the fans happy. The stadium was fully yellow with a big wall of the Tartan army behind 1 goal. But just great game overall by Brazil.
I think people always they keep forgetting Cunha is also playing very, very well.
3 goals.
He's sort of that support role that can just be that secondary placement if needed. Like you say, 3 goals.
3 goals in the tournament so far. So Vini and Cunha single-handedly really carrying Brazil to that number 1 place in the group. Morocco and Haiti played the other game, and that was for me the best first half so far. So at halftime it was 2-0, which is a crazy result. Haiti really surprising everyone. They were pretty good against Scotland, deserved more than their 1-0 loss, maybe even a win. It didn't get to that. Then they also didn't manage to do their thing against Morocco, but now against Brazil. But now against Morocco, they finally scored. I think it's their first ever goal in the World Cup. And their second goal by Wilson Isidor is, for me, so far, the goal of the tournament.
You just mentioned what I was about to say, that this has been the best goal so far. And I'm really proud that a nation like Haiti show level to a really good team that is Morocco.
Yeah.
For me, I really thought this match will end up 3-0, and it was not like this. Haiti has something to prove, and they were there enjoying playing against a really big team.
Yeah, Haiti came in front twice. It looked like they were going to be able to pull out a result until quite late, but then Morocco took over. The star players of Morocco were again on show. Sibari scoring his 3rd in 3 matches, 1 in each. I bet PSV are regretting that they sold him before the tournament, because every goal in the World Cup is 10 million more. So he would have been worth 30 million more already. But Hakimi also on fire, scoring a goal. The captain.
And an assist.
And an assist, 99th cap for Morocco already. So next game in the first knockout round, if nothing happens, he will be playing his 100th cap. So Hakimi also on fire, and this got Morocco past Haiti really.
Yeah.
The order in this group to finish the group stage is Brazil in number 1. No one really knew whether to expect Brazil or Morocco.
Yep.
It was close, but Brazil ended up 1st, Morocco 2nd, Scotland 3rd, and Haiti, despite impressing everyone, will go home head held high. Yeah. And everyone respects Haiti
one
even more now.
round of applause for Haiti,
yes.
please.
Thank you, Chris. And round of applause can also be given to Mexico. Group A was the last one to play tonight. Mexico went through for the first time ever with 3 wins in the group stage.
Yes.
And what's even more impressive for me, 0 goals conceded. Unbelievable, right, Chris?
Unbelievable. I'm so proud of this team. For the first time, I really feel them enjoying playing as a team and proving why Mexico is always considered a big team. Today, as you mentioned, first time and without goals conceded. And actually, the last time Mexico passed as first place was in Japan 2002, and was also with Javier Aguirre as a manager.
Nice.
So this even though I need to say I'm not a big fan of how Javier Aguirre plays, he's showing that on World Cups he can do a pretty good job.
And I think similar to Brazil, there were quite a few doubts about Mexico pre-tournament. It's not the Mexico with the big names maybe, except Raúl Jiménez, Edson Alvarez, but there's not a lot of big names, but they're really growing into the tournament. I feel like they played much better tonight than they played against South Africa in the first game. Of course, there was the nerve of the first game in Azteca with all the pressure. But yeah, Mexico are unbelievable. Quiñones is their best player so far. Chávez, youngest goal scorer since Chicharito for the national team in a World Cup. And of course, we cannot end the Mexico segment without talking about the legendary Memo Ochoa. Chris, any words?
Memo Ochoa, I am really proud of you. You playing your last World Cup match.
Last match ever.
Last match ever. Yes, sir, because...
Club and country.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. After the game, he was interviewed and he said, I played my very first match in my career in Azteca and my very last match in my career in Azteca. So this means that it's over after this World Cup, after this match, because he is in fact third choice goalkeeper.
Yes.
This game was over and the group was over, so they brought him on, but he will not be playing in the knockout unless something happens to the first 2 goalkeepers.
You cannot risk. It was his last moment, so...
Big respect to
Big
Memo.
respect for him.
In the other game of the group, maybe the biggest surprise of the day, at least for me, South Africa started the day as last of the group. No one really gave them a chance, and here they go. They beat South Korea and they end up second.
This was the biggest plot twist of the day. I was never expecting this to happen. For me, South Korea was already there, and South Africa, amazing. This is why we love football. Everything can happen until last minute.
I was just going to say, Mexico's performances have been so strong. Like genuinely, yes, there's the little tweaks here and there that could be better, but for me, 3 games, 9 points, and a solid showing, especially in the home games, which is always cool to see. South Africa were extremely poor in the first game, which made it almost easy for Mexico to win that game with 2 red cards, obviously. And then ever since then, it really wasn't, there was no sign of life. Like it really felt like this was going to be it. And it was a fun tournament while it lasted. And then all of a sudden things turn around. And now, even though as a Canadian, I'm going to say Canada now has an easy matchup in the next round, this is a pretty good matchup for South Africa as well. Compared to some of the teams they could come up against, coming up against Canada, you have a chance. Like this game is definitely not one-sided in one way or the other. So... It's honestly madness.
It's a World Cup full of surprises, definitely.
And Chad, you're both South African and Canadian. I bet you're looking forward to that game.
It's a special one. I think in Toronto as well, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so, yeah.
What a match.
What a match.
Has tickets.
Indeed. South Africa for the first time in the knockout round. I'm really, really happy to see a new country breaking new barriers, breaking new ground. And yeah, as we said, they will be playing against Canada in the next round. I think that for them, it is a doable card. They played well against Czechia. No one gave them credit for it. And now they beat South Korea, which is a very, very decent nation.
They, first time making it into the knockouts for them.
Yeah.
I think Chris and I were discussing it a couple of days ago about 2010 and how they almost broke through even with France in their group, but it didn't work out. So first time in the knockouts, and I think the 7th or 8th African nation to hit the knockout rounds in the World Cup. So also really exciting. So yeah, I think a special moment for them, and I'm sure a lot of South Africans. South Africa is a very passionate fan base. People don't realize, but they're It's exciting.
And big respect to one of the oldest coaches in the tournament, Hugo, another Belgian, also retiring from management after this World Cup. So
do we know how old?
In the 70s.
Okay.
Well, in the 70s.
Okay, he's big.
Yeah, so big respect to him for taking South Africa to the next round in what's not that of an easy group. What does that mean for the group? Mexico finished number 1, South Africa number 2, South Korea third, and Czechia are going home. The first European country, no, not even the first European country to officially go home. Turkey have also been eliminated. So yeah, Europe also not doing that well. This is always the case in the World Cup. Everyone thinks South America and Europe are going to dominate, but it ends up being not like that. Finally, as a last segment, I just want to talk about the third places because as we know, there's 12 groups in this tournament. 8 third places out of those 12 will go through to the next round, which means that even if you end up third, you have to have a good points tally and a good goal difference. In theory, if you manage to get 4 points as a third place, you should be able to go through to the next round. Then some with 3 points will also go through, but it will depend on the goal difference. So right now, the 3 locked in third places are South Korea with 3 points and -1 in goal difference. Then we have Bosnia with 4 points and -1 goal difference, meaning Bosnia are extremely likely to make it to the next round. And Scotland have 3 points and -3 goal difference. This happened because of today. So it's looking pretty bleak for Scotland.
Yeah, not looking good, but Bosnia is the one that sticks out to me. Obviously beating Italy to qualify for the tournament. Exciting to see them kind of go to the next round here. In theory, they should be in the next round. I'm sure many Italians would have been the first to say, oh, they just got lucky, they happened to beat us. Now making it out of the group takes that to the next stage of this is standard. This is the expectation for most European countries is to make it to that next round.
Yeah,
at least.
I think if things remain like this today, because this third place table will change, Scotland is potentially playing against Mexico, which I think will be a really interesting game. I was going to tell you that Mexico should still push a bit more. Why? Because I think the difference is we're playing as local in Mexico, and when we pass this game, if we win against Scotland or whoever third place will be, they will need to show the level playing in the US. Because I think playing in Mexico City with your people, like it's helping also a lot, but I think they will still remain with the same level.
Well, Chris, I don't think it's going to be Scotland. It's looking pretty bad, -3 on 3 points. I don't think they'll make it through. South Korea will be saved, I think, despite their very, very poor tournament. But yeah, we'll see in the coming days what the other third places will do. We'll lock in more of that bracket in the coming days as well. The only matchup locked in is South Africa-Canada so far. So we will tell you more about the next matchups in the coming days. Tune in to see how the bracket unfolds. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you guys.
See you guys.